All righty, I am going to let everyone in. All right, everyone, if you could please make sure you are on mute. Caitlin Shepard.
Yes, ma'am.
You need to show your video.
Okay, I'm trying to turn it on right now.
All right. So everyone who is accused or is a defendant, you need to make sure your video is on. Your video should only go dark for two reasons. One, you're on a phone and you're signing paperwork. Two, you're on the phone and someone calls in which case you should immediately decline their call. Everyone else, please make sure you are on mute. These are the rules of the 187 District Court. You're in a courtroom. Anything you could not do if you were physically in the courtroom, you cannot do on this Zoom screen. To all of the inmates, you're not allowed to use the chat box. You are not allowed to use the internet. If you do any of those things, what will happen is you will be sent back to your cell. And as you know, there is a shortage. So because there is a shortage, you will we'll probably see you in 60 to 90 days. To all of you who are on bond, if you are at work, you need to let your employer know that you need to take a break. If you are at your home or wherever you may be, you're not allowed to be doing chores, changing of diapers, cooking of food, having a breakfast, and a host of other things. Anything that you could not do if you were physically in this courtroom, you cannot do on the Zoom screen. If you behave inappropriately on this Zoom screen, if you are dressed inappropriately on this Zoom screen, what will happen if you're on bond, you will need to get an Uber or a Lyft to bring you downtown. You will either need to take the Via bus. If you take the Via bus, what you're going to find out is it's still the same when I took the Via bus, which is they do not give change. So that bus ride is probably going to end up costing you $10, maybe $5 or $20. If you drive down, you're going to find a lot of construction. You're going to find a lot of one-ways. And if you drive like I do, if there's a nail in the street, you're going to hit it, and that's going to require you to get a new tire. And if you're lucky enough to find parking space, you're going to find that parking has become very expensive. So today is Wednesday. It's a beautiful day outside. Sun is shining. You're halfway through the week. Let's not turn this Wednesday into a Monday. I'm going to open breakout rooms. When I open breakout rooms, it's going to invite everyone to a breakout room. Do not, I repeat, do not go to a breakout room unless you are specifically called by name and assigned to the breakout room. To all the attorneys, it will make things so much easier and it'll go by quicker if you could add to your name the name of your client and whether or not it's criminal trial division and family or family violence. The way to do that, if you'll go to your computer, your cell phone, and click on participants, when you click on your name, you will see where it says rename. Just add your client's name, add whether or not it's criminal trial division or family violence. Again, if you'll click on participants, click on your name, and then when it says rename, just add your client's name to your name and whether or not it's criminal trial division or family violence. To all attorneys, if you have a plea bargain agreement, no matter how small you think that plea bargain agreement is, you're going to be putting it in the chat box to the court coordinator. She'll be logging on shortly. She is listed as, she will be listed as Ferguson coordinator. She will need to know whether or not it is a plea. She will need to know whether or not it is regular probation or deferred probation. She will need to know if it's for time or not for time. If your client is on bond, she will need your client's email address, and so will the prosecutors. To all of those who are accused, your name will not be called. Your attorney's name will be called. If you do not hear your attorney's name, it is because they are Zooming in another courtroom or they had to appear in person in another courtroom. Please be patient. They will be here as soon as possible. We're going to be taking our break at 11:45. So anything that is not handled by that time, you'll have to come back at 2. This is the order in which attorneys will appear. If you see your law on the list and you wish to zoom to another courtroom, you're more than welcome to do so. However, if you do so and your name has been called, you will be put at the end of the list. Nathan Slemain, Orlando Castellon, Robert Featherson, Kurt Grancy, Douglas Kapmeyer, Mark Stevens, Martin Guerra, Carolyn Whitland, Bud Ridnour, Kurt May, Sidney Reed, and John Gilmore. Is there any attorney who is on the Zoom screen and I did not call your name? Attorneys, not defendants or those who are accused.
Yeah, Barry Hitchings, Your Honor.
All right.
And Nathan Slemain and I represent the same defendant, but different cases.
Okay. Just give me a moment.
So Chris Saxon.
All right. Anyone else? All right. Attorneys, when you get signed to the breakout room, think of those breakout rooms as a doctor's office. When you have an appointment at 9 a.m. and they call you back at 8:45 and you've already filled out all your paperwork, you think, great, I'm going to get out of here at 9:05. But really, they're calling you back to a smaller room to check your weight and your blood pressure. So everyone, it's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. It's beautiful. Let's keep it that way. Put some patience in your pocket. Use it as needed. Nathan Slemain and Barry Hitchens, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. I'm sorry, not number 1, number 3.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Orlando Castellon, I'm going to assign you to breakout room number 4. Thank you for changing your name. It moves so much quicker when that's done.
Thank you, Judge.
Robert Featherston.
Morning, Judge. I'm here on 3 different cases. Nathaniel Tristan, you asked us to come back to do a motion to continue and then pretrials if the continuance was not granted. And then also on Roy Bedalis, he is criminal trial division, and Marvin Lee on an MTR criminal trial division.
Just 1 second. So you say Bedalis? And
Yes,
Bedalis is?
He's Roy Bedalis. He is criminal trial division.
Okay.
And there's already an offer on the case, Judge, and I talked to him this morning. He'll take the offer.
Okay. And who else do you have?
Marvin Lee, he's here on an MTR. We had a number of mental health interviews, and on the last interview, he is qualified for DDRF, but I still need to confer on that case.
All right. Is that criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal trial division on Mr. Lee. And then Nathaniel Tristan is family violence.
All right. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Kurt Grancy.
Judge, I'm here on Alejandro Chavez, and I don't know what happened at my office, probably my fault. We were supposed to apply for pretrial diversion. I called Beatrice, they didn't have it or couldn't find it. So we've got that submitted now. And we're just, I guess we're waiting on, a reply for that, but we were late getting it into them. I don't know how that fell through the cracks.
Okay, just give us a moment. Douglas Kapmeyer.
Morning, Your Honor. If I could get with my client, Shirley Martinez, she's in custody.
Criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal trial.
Have you conferred with the state?
I have an offer to convey.
All right. I'm going to send you to number 7. And let me see. Your client is in custody?
That's what my notes say.
All right, just give us a moment. She's not on the screen yet. Just so everyone knows, there was a little slight problem at the Bexar County jails, and people were stuck in the elevator for over an hour, so they are just getting inmates brought over. So everyone just Put some patience in your pocket. She's here now.
Yes,
All right,
ma'am.
Ms. Martinez, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 7
Yes,
to
ma'am.
speak with your attorney.
I press join, right?
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Mark Stevens.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you have Barry Orr.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
All right, so there are some issues with him signing his conditions of probation.
Well,
So-
Your Honor,
Yes,
can I explain what I think the issues are?
yes,
Of course, we were unsuccessful on our appeal. During the pendency of the appeal, he was not required to do anything, and I told him that.
oh, no, he's not, but I mean, where are we now on the appeal matter?
We're lost. I'm lost, that is. So I have to, we were ready to commence the conditions of probation, Your Honor, as soon as we can get started.
Okay, I'll send you to breakout room number 1 and send your client to number 1, and probation will meet you both in number 1 to go over your conditions.
Thank you, Judge.
Probation, the only thing that I'm doing now differently with conditions, the community service hours that I've given him, I deduct 40 of those hours if they provide proof that they've had the COVID vaccination. However, Mr. Stevens, I'm not requiring anyone to get the COVID vaccination, but if they do, 40 of those hours will be deducted.
Understood, Your Honor. And after we finish there, do you want us back in the courtroom?
No, you're done after that. So probation, if you could go to breakout room number 1, please.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Martin Guerra.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm present for Mr. Guitron, and it's a compliance hearing, so I didn't know if I needed to speak with prosecutors or not.
Yes, because probation is asking for something specifically for me.
Okay.
So let me send you to number 8.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Carolyn Whitland.
Good morning, Judge. I have Matthew Burke, and it's family violence. I'm hoping that, I'm not sure if he's on here, I'd like to speak with Michael Villarreal.
All right, I'll send you to number 9. Roy Bedalis. Roy Bedalis.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi,
Yes, ma'am.
whoever's driving you, have them drive you to 300 De La Rosa. The courtroom is located on the 4th floor. You don't appear in person in court. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And when you come to the courtroom, make sure your hat is removed.
Yeah.
Bud Ridnour.
Good morning, Your Honor. Gregory Weitron, Criminal Trial Division.
All right, I'll send you to number 9.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, number 10. Kurt May, I'll send you to number 11.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you for changing your name. Sydney Reed.
Good morning, Judge. We're here on a motion to modify bond conditions, so I don't know if you want me to talk to the prosecutor before that.
Yes, I'll send you to 12.
Thank you.
Judge, this is Bud Rittenhour. I had gone to a breakout room just as you were saying, I'm sorry, and you were going to send me to a different one.
Yes, I sent you to number 10.
10, thank you.
Yes. All right, John Gilmore, I'll send you to lucky breakout room number 13. Thank you for changing your name.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is there any attorney who has not been assigned to a breakout room yet? All right, Kurt Granzi.
Yes, Judge.
All right, Alejandro Chavez.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Chavez, have you filled out the PTD application?
I believe one of the workers for Kurt Granzi filled it out for me. Yes, ma'am. I sent in all the information I was supposed to fill out to her.
Yeah, my secretary typed it out and sent it in yesterday or the day before.
Okay. Just one moment. We're going to come back on April 11th.
Second. Um,
All right, see you guys then.
Thank you, ma'am. Do I just leave the chat room?
Yes, you can leave now.
All right, you have a good day. Thank you.
All right,
Judge,
thank you.
Judge, if
Yes.
I could, I have actually a case in, I have a felony case set in Hayes County that morning. Would it be possible? Or maybe we could set it in the afternoon. Is that possible or something?
Yeah, that's possible, but honestly, what will end up happening if he's completed everything, then he will be
Well,
done.
we should know some. Okay.
Yes,
Okay. Thank you.
but I'll note that you will be out of county, but he'll need to appear.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, may I report back?
Just one moment. Who's speaking?
Douglas Capmeyer. I believe that the report was, she was just interviewed a couple days ago. We may not have the report yet. I do believe she pled out and we're waiting, I think, for an evaluation of some type.
All right, just one moment. Solomon, she's in breakout room number 1. Michelle, she's in breakout room number 1. Where's your client?
Ms. Martinez is in custody, Your Honor.
Did you leave her in a breakout room?
I told her to leave the breakout room, Your Honor.
She's not in the main room.
I'll go back and get her, but the question I have is, do I get that report? I think it was an evaluation for mental health, or does the court get it, and do we have it?
You will get the report. And here's the thing, to all the defense attorneys, do not tell your client to leave a breakout room because they don't know what that means. They think that means that they're done for the day, and they're not done for the day. And I need to tell them when their new date is. And because they're at the jail, it's going to take a while to get them back. So to the clerks, can you have Ms. Martinez come back, please? And if you could let the deputies at the jail know to have Ms. Martinez come back. It's Shirley Martinez. John Kuntz, who do you have?
He has not come to court today, so my office is trying to get a hold of him right now.
Who is your client?
Fabian Rocha, Judge. It's a recall from yesterday on a bond violation.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Bud Ridenour?
Yeah.
Oh, your
John?
client is there. Just give
He's
us a
right
moment.
here. Yes, thank you.
Your Honor, we have, I've spoken with Marcus. We're waiting for the results of the blood test, and I don't know if he's on here. He's advised that the test is about 4 to 6 weeks out.
Yes, Judge, I'm here.
All right, so what's happening with this case? This case has been going on forever.
That's right.
Yes, Judge, this is the one where there was an unindicted murder that was brought to us later in the process. And so it's where I submitted, all the testing wasn't done, and I noticed something that wasn't done. So I asked the detective to send it in. He reached out to the lab. Apparently the person that he sent it to went out on surgery, and it got the ball got dropped, but they are working on it.
All right, and this is an unindicted murder related to this defendant?
Yes, Judge.
Well, we don't think so, but that's his opinion.
Okay. I
And of course,
understand.
as the court knows, there are actually 7 indicted cases.
Yes. So how is that blood test affecting these 7 unindicted cases? These 7 indicted cases.
I guess to not get into too much into the facts, but the blood test relates to a possible co-defendant, and it would go to motive for some of the.
Your Honor, my understanding is that they may also be able to link, let's call it a container to a victim in one of the cases.
So this is the court's question, so I can be clear in my mind on what's going on. Are you saying that the blood results have something to do with the cases that we've been waiting for trial and that we are at 16 settings on?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Wheatron, I don't think your attorney wants you shaking your head at anything. All right, Ms. Ferguson. Mr. Wheatron, I need a jury trial setting and set it in May. These cases are going to trial in May. All right, we're coming back on May 10th for jury trial and the state defense. You all can confer over which trial you all are trying first, but we will, Mr. Wheatron, we will give you your jury trial and it will be May 10th. And Mr. Rittenauer, the only downside to that, of course, if juries are suspended, then we won't be having that.
Understand.
All right, we're going to go on the record briefly. Court is calling 2016 CR 8564, 2017 CR 4641, 2017 CR 7677, 2017 CR 7678, 2017 CR 10602, 2017 CR 10603, 2018 CR 1479, State of Texas versus Gregory Wheatron. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Marcus Sanders for the state.
For the defense?
Bud Rittenauer for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Wheatron? Just push the space bar. It's the longest key on the keyboard. Hold it down. All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No objection.
Any objection from the defense?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Wheatron, do you have any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, defense, have you received an offer from the state in these cases?
We have, Your Honor.
And Mr. Wheatron, are you rejecting those offers and requesting a jury trial?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
All right, your jury trial is going to be on May 10th. If you are on bond, you'll need to appear in the 187th District Court on May 10th at 9 a.m. dressed for trial. The courtroom is located at 300 De La Rosa on the 4th floor. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you are still in custody, you will be brought over dressed for trial on May 10th at 9 a.m. to the 187th District Court. You will be brought over dressed in whatever civilian clothing you have at the jail. If you wish to have different clothing, then your attorney will need to make a clothing exchange. Mr. Rittenauer, if there are some issues with the clothing exchange, let the court know, and we'll see if we can help you expedite that. Mr. Wheatron, when is your jury trial date?
May 5th.
May 10th.
May 10th.
All right, so when is your, that's okay. When is your jury trial date?
May 10th.
What time?
9 o'clock.
Which court?
187.
All right, is there anything else from either side?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Rittenauer, do you have your client anymore?
I'm sorry, there's some sound in the background I didn't understand, Judge.
Do you need to speak with your client anymore?
Yes, I'd like to confer. Can we leave from the breakout room?
You need to make sure that your client comes back to the main room. He's not allowed to leave from the breakout room.
All right, we'll do that, Judge.
All right, just give me a moment. All right, Mr. Wheatron, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with your attorney. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 10. Make sure that you come back to the main room after you speak with your attorney. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let me just find you on the screen. Just give me a moment. All right, and Mr. Rittenhour, if you can go back to number 10.
Thank you, Judge.
And everyone, just a moment. All right, Alberto Garcia.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi, who are you here for?
I am here as the immigration attorney appointed to Jose Lozano's case, Your Honor.
All right, let me just see where that attorney is.
Judge, that's on my case.
Who's speaking?
Ross Rodriguez, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Congratulations, Judge.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Bradley Bellows for Isaac Reyes, and I agree with that time announcement.
And is that criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal trial division, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you, Judge.
Welcome. Ray Adams, who do you have?
I have Vernon Coleman, and could I speak with the prosecutor on that case?
Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
It is a family violence.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 7.
Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome. Nathan Slimane on Chris Saxon.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
I did confer with Michael. We had reset for today to see if there's any information responsive to a long form discovery request I had filed on February the 3rd. This morning, I did receive a witness list. My discussion with Michael warranted that they still intend to submit 609 and 404B information ASAP. It's not in my hands yet, so I'd still like some time to receive that and review that.
All right, where is Michael Villarreal?
He was here a moment ago, Judge. He might have gone to a breakout room.
Yes, let me see. He's in a breakout room. Just give me a moment and we'll take your matter up.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Barry Hitchens. And, oh, you're with Nathan.
Yeah, I'm on the second case with Nathan Slimane.
All right, just give us a moment. Kurt May.
Yes, Your Honor. I met with the prosecution and I was informed through my co-counsel, John Gilmore. We were extended a plea offer yesterday afternoon. It was the first one. I think we're moving in the right direction. We're going to need some time to speak further with the client and the prosecution. We would ask for a modest reset.
All right, is this Rogelio Espinosa?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, Miss Ferguson, if I can have a 3-week reset on Mr. Espinosa. All right, we're going to come back on April 5th. Mr. Rogelio Espinosa, that's going to be your plea deadline date. The court is not going to extend your plea deadline date any further. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. If there's nothing else, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, great seeing you. Be sure to tell your husband I use the breakout rooms, you know.
I will. He'll be very impressed with that.
Tell him that if I have someone come see him, don't make me sit in the breakout room.
Exactly. Got it.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, Martin Guerra.
Your Honor, I was conferring with Michelle. We actually both had some questions for probation, so I'm just trying to see if the CLO is available to meet in a breakout room with all of us.
All right, Martin Guerra. Let me see where you are. If you'll go to breakout room number 1, and if probation could go to number 1, please. All right, and are the prosecutors ready on John Kuntz's client?
Judge, I was dealing with Michael Villarreal yesterday, so I'm not sure if he's available.
He is in the breakout room. Let me request that he come out of the breakout room. Just give me. All right, Sydney Reed.
Yes, Judge, I conferred with the with Michelle on Mark Pena's case, and we don't have an agreement on the motion to modify bond conditions. So I think we're going to need a brief hearing to make our arguments.
All right. Just give us a moment and I'll put you in line. Michael Villarreal, on Mr. Saxon.
Yes, Your Honor.
They are saying that there's some information that they need from you.
Yes, Your Honor. I was having computer problems this morning, and I was in the middle of the 404B, and it crashed on me. And so I will be getting them a copy of the 404B, hopefully this evening after I'm able to go through my meetings today and finish Docket, Judge. But it'll be tendered to them no later than midnight tonight.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson. Ms. Saxon, can we recall this in 2 weeks, please? And we'll recall it for motions. So whatever motions have not been heard that need to be heard, we'll hear it on that day. And then we'll move quickly towards the jury trial.
And Your Honor, any other motions, would that include, for example, a motion to eliminate?
Yes, any motions that you want heard. If you want them heard before trial, then we'll do it on that day. So
Okay, very.
That will be on March 30th at 2 p.m.
2 p.m.?
Yes.
Very good.
All right, if there's nothing else, you're good.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Barry.
You're welcome.
Chris, give me a call.
Okay, where's all of that noise coming from?
I got it.
Okay, thank you. All right, John Kuntz,
Yes, Judge.
are you and Mr. Rocha ready?
Yes, Judge. Can I have this one?
Yes.
All right, the court is going to call 2019 CR 13340, State of Texas versus Fabian Rocha. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michael Villarreal for the state.
For the defense?
John Kuntz for Mr. Rocha.
And are you Fabian Rocha?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. The court will note for the record that the defendant is in the courtroom. Any objections to us proceeding by video? State?
And from the state.
Defense?
None, Judge, and actually we're here in the courtroom, so yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, we're here for two matters. We're here on a second violation report, and also we're here on a motion to modify conditions of bond. Have both parties had a chance to review the motion for condition to modify conditions of bond? State, have you had a chance to review that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you ready to proceed on that, State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, and defense, have you had a chance to review the second violation report on Mr. Rocha?
I have, Your Honor, and I've spoken to him about it as well.
All right, and State, have you received that violation report?
I have, Your Honor.
Are both parties ready to proceed on the violation report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
So according to the violation report, the defendant is on full house arrest, but the defendant made unauthorized stops on March 5th and also on March 6th. State?
Yes, Your Honor. So we're asking, I think, if the defense would stipulate to the stops on it. If not, we have available here to testify his pretrial supervision officer, Ms. Kayla Martinez. But at this time, we would just move for the court to take judicial notice of the violation report.
All right. Defense, are you stipulating to the violations that are alleged in the second violation report?
Yes, Judge, we'll stipulate to those, but we have an explanation as to what's going on.
All right, then the defense is stipulating that the defendant did make 3 unauthorized stops on March 5th and 2 unauthorized stops on March 6th. Anything else from the state?
Your Honor, we just asked that the court to also take judicial notice of a previous violation of a GPS. It's violation of the violation report number 1 on this case, which was also a previous GPS violation.
All right, defense.
Judge, obviously that predates my representation of the defendant. I have not seen that one, but I understand that there was a violation report from some time in the past. As you know, Judge, and we're kind of having to deal with both at the same time. I had filed back on February 22nd a motion to relax the conditions of GPS, A, so he could work, B, so he could continue to care for his grandfather. And so unfortunately, he did have those violations the other day, but if I can have him sworn in, I can maybe give the court some clarity or some guidance on why he was out of the GPS range.
Okay, and what I can tell defense counsel is violation number 1 was a GPS violation wherein the defendant left the county and is alleged to have committed a new offense in a different county. And that's how the court was aware that there was an alleged GPS violation.
And Judge,
yes.
I don't mean to interrupt. The report that I'm referencing is a January 27th of 2022 that does not relate to the motion to revoke probation. It's a first violation report, and I could forward it to both you, John.
Yes, please do.
So I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage because I don't get emails on my phone. So.
Oh no, we're going to send the email to Deputy Laura's computer so that you'll have that. And if you need a chance to review it.
I believe from what my clients told me, it's similar violations. He went to his grandfather's house.
Okay.
Sure.
And I sent it, Judge.
All right. And did you also include Deputy Laura?
That might help.
And Mr. Kuntz, if you would like to review that with your client, I can let you all review that in the privacy without being on Zoom.
And Judge, if you could put in the chat the email address, because I don't know if I'm able to find it.
Okay, what I'll do is, Mr. Kuntz, I'm going to forward it to Deputy Laura. I have not read it, so I've just sent it to her.
Okay.
And I'll give you a chance to review that. All right, Ross Rodriguez on Jose Lozano.
Good morning, Your Honor. Yes, I spoke with Albert on this, Your Honor, the immigration attorney. And essentially, I know he just finished a jury trial, Judge, and needs a little bit more time to research this. And I also need to discuss the discovery with him, Your Honor. I just received that because I didn't have it last time, Judge. But he just needs a little bit more time because he just finished a jury trial, Your Honor.
All right.
For Gina Castillo, can I have
Alberto Garcia?
Yes, Your
Hi,
Honor.
if you could show your video for me, please.
Your Honor, I am unfortunately not dressed for court.
Okay.
I had a family emergency, so I'm currently in Houston, and I have no professional clothes on me, Judge. Literally
Okay, no, I
zero.
understand. So how long is it going to take you to review Mr. Lozano's immigration issues?
I'm probably thinking, Judge, I can have it done in 60 days. The issue is a little bit complicated just because of the type of charge. Under the INA, the Immigration Code, there's several different options, and also depending on what type of plea bargain or plea offer Mr. Lozano has, is going to guide sort of my legal opinion on if it should be taken or whether trial might be his only option if immigration becomes the priority for Mr. Lozano. And so I won't be able to advise him fully unless I do know what a plea bargain might look like, because that's going to guide where in the code I have to go to get a specific answer, Judge.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, have you received a plea offer from the state?
I currently have not, Your Honor. I don't. Mike and I had talked last time, but I didn't have the discovery at the time, Judge. But
Wait,
if Mike
who are you speaking to?
Michael Villarreal, Judge.
No, this is a theft case. So it's
I'm
criminal
sorry.
trial division.
Not Michael. I'm sorry, Judge. I can't remember who it was, Judge.
Was it Marcus? Was it Ryan? Was it Brittany Sparks?
I think it was Brittany, Judge. It was Brittany.
All right, Brittany, are you prepared to give a plea offer in Jose Lozano?
I can be, Judge.
All right, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to send you to a breakout room so that you can get a plea offer from the state. And
Yes, Judge.
then we're going to come back in 30 days. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Jose Lozano, please? All right, we're going to come back on April 13th. I'm going to send you to a breakout room to get an offer from the state.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sending you to breakout room number 2.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you and your client can be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, are we ready on? All right, we're back on Mr. Rocha. We're back on the record in 2019 CR 13340, State of Texas versus Fabian Rocha. Mr. Kuntz, were you able to review the exhibit that the state is requesting that the court take judicial notice of, which was a previous violation report.
Yes, Judge.
Do you have any objections of the court taking judicial notice of the prior violation report?
I do not, Judge.
All right. All right, any other evidence from the state to present?
No, Your Honor.
All right, defense?
Your Honor, I would like to have my client sworn so I could ask him some questions.
All right, if you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You can lower your hand. I'm going to need you to speak up, and could you state your name for the record?
Fabian Rocha.
All right, defense.
Thank you. Fabian, obviously you're here on this violation report. What do you do for a living normal?
Crime scene and trauma cleaning.
Crime scene and trauma cleaning?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you have your own business?
Yes, sir.
And is it full-time?
It's always on call.
Always on.
Okay, Mr. Rocha, I'm going to need you to speak up so that the court reporter can hear you.
Can we get closer to the microphone, maybe?
Yes.
Oh, right here. Okay. Sorry, Judge, we might be a little bit off camera.
No problem.
So go ahead. Fabian, I was asking you in terms of your job, what are your hours?
They range whenever somebody needs us. We're always on call, so the phone could always ring at any time.
Can you hear that, Judge? And
well, I can hear.
Barely.
Yes, he needs to speak louder.
need you to talk louder. Okay.
The phone can ring at any time. Crime scene and trauma cleaning. We've gotten calls at 3 a.m, from 5 at night, midnight, for suicides, double homicides, hoarding. Whenever anybody needs our services.
Okay, so your job is not a 9-to-5 job, it would be fair to say.
Yes, sir. It's not.
So obviously, a few weeks ago, we filed this motion to relax the GPS condition so that you can go back to work, right?
Yes, sir.
Are there other things in your life, your personal life, that you would like to be able to attend to, such as your grandfather?
Yes, sir. I used to live there at my grandfather's residence, but my father had helped move in so he can help take care of my grandfather, but he's not able to do that as much as I used to, as far as being there all the time, because he has a regular job as well.
So let's start with the most recent violation report, which was just this past weekend, right? Where you had the violations. Let's talk about the addresses that you went to. What is your grandfather's address?
3042 Kiowa.
3042 Kiowa?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so there, 2 of the 5 violations were to that address. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
What were you doing there?
I was there waiting for the other nurse to come in to take care of my grandfather.
What are your
Okay, so let me just, excuse me, just one moment. Mr. Rocha, in your real life, do you whisper all the time? Because the court reporter is having difficulty hearing you. You need to speak up, because otherwise the court reporter can't hear you. And I can guarantee you, with my allergies, if the court reporter can't hear you, I can't hear you.
Okay.
So you're going to need to speak up.
I'll have him lean into the microphone, Judge.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to be awkward, but just lean into the microphone when you speak. So what are your grandfather's conditions?
He's just has old age and he's in hospice care, so he can't necessarily do anything on his own. He's in a wheelchair, needs help transferring. Needs to be, he needs a second person there to help him eat, use the restroom, he's in hospice care, like I said, so he just needs someone there at all times to make sure that he's okay.
On the 5th and the 6th, was your father unable to help your grandfather that day or those days?
Yes, sir. My father was out and then the nurse was already leaving, so there was going to be no one there to care for him.
Okay. Now, you also went to the unknown residence at 446 Clutter. What was that address?
That was at my previous attorney's address. That's our office.
Okay. And then you also went to Wendy's. Was that to get lunch or something?
Yes, sir. Right. To get gas as well.
Okay. And then the Tri-County Meat Market is actually a gas station?
That's a gas station. Yes, sir.
Okay. So on those 2 days, you obviously violated the terms of your full house arrest. And did you understand that?
Well, I know that no one was going to be there to take care of my grandfather, and they have my other address, but 3042 Kiowa as another residence. So usually they don't tell me anything about going to help my grandfather.
But you understand that technically, those were violations of what you were supposed to be doing, correct?
Yes, sir.
But you felt like you needed to go take care of your granddad,
Yes, sir.
and then you went and spoke to your former lawyer, and then you also got some food and gas.
Yes, sir.
Is that right? Okay, let's talk about this earlier violation from back in January on the 27th. They say that you went to 11935 Culebra. What happened on January 27th of this year?
That was when the cold front was coming in. There was a pipe that busted in my apartment right now. So I went to the other address to stay there for the night.
Okay, so on January 27th, you didn't reside at that time at 11935 Culebra. What was your actual address at that time?
My current address, 14811 Huebner.
Okay, but you had the ability to go stay at this apartment. How long did you stay at that residence or apartment?
For that time, it was just a night, but I also have that as one of my previous addresses because we also do a lot of work for them. So
I'm sorry. You're gonna have to repeat all of that.
Okay.
All right, take the microphone, hold the microphone to your mouth and speak into the microphone.
Okay, Brennan, do you want me to start back with the Culebra address?
I got. How long did you stay at the residence or apartment?
Okay.
And then for that time, it was just the night, but I also from previous address. That's all I got.
Okay, so we'll back up. Sorry about that. So on January 27th, 22, there was the pipe that burst in the apartment that you resided in, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, on that day you left, did your phone get damaged when the pipe burst?
Yes, sir. It was right by the faucet.
The faucet that burst?
The Rocha, yeah.
Okay. So you went to this other apartment on Culebra Road, correct?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear that, Brennan? Okay. And that apartment you stayed at just for the one night?
Yes, sir.
When did you inform your GPS officer about the broken pipe?
My phone was damaged when the pipe busted. I spoke to her probably about an hour or so after.
Okay, would that have been on the 27th or the 28th?
27th.
Okay. Now, obviously, there was damage in the apartment where the pipe burst, correct?
Yes, sir.
And so you had to leave at least for the night so that they could fix it?
Yes, sir.
Did you go back to your designated residence the next day?
The next day.
Okay. Now, with regard to these more recent violations, again, in large part, it was because you were tending to your grandfather. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, you understand that even though we filed that motion a few weeks ago, that as of the time that these violations occurred, the judge still had not authorized you to leave your house, right?
Yes, sir.
You understand that, don't you?
I understand.
And you understand that's a big problem for the judge.
I do understand it's a problem.
Okay. Okay, I have nothing further at this time, Judge.
Judge, may I proceed?
Oh, you're muted, Judge.
I didn't want any noise coming from back here. Yes, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Rocha, do you have any confusion or issue about what house arrest, full house arrest means?
I'm sorry, I don't.
You don't?
I don't have any confusion on what full house arrest means.
Okay, so when you went to your grandfather's residence on the 5th and the 6th of this month, you knew that was going to be a violation, correct?
Yes, sir. There was no one else there to care for my grandfather at the time.
Okay, but again, you knew that was going to be a violation, correct?
Yes, sir. There was no one else to care for my grandfather at the time.
Okay, and when you decided to go pick up food at Wendy's, you knew that was going to be a violation of your full house arrest as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then when you went to your previous attorney's office, you knew that was going to be a violation as well, right?
Yes, sir.
And why did you need to speak to your previous attorney?
There was other paperwork she had for me for my business that I needed to pick up.
And let's be clear, you are currently in a dating relationship with that attorney as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then let's go talk about the January 27th violation. When you went to that address, whose address was that?
That's another property of mine.
The Culebra Road address?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have 2 properties?
Yes, sir. I used to stay there because we do a lot of work for that apartment complex as well. So I also have an apartment there.
Okay. That wasn't your previous attorney's address as well?
No.
Okay. You made mention earlier that GPS had your grandfather's address as one of your previous addresses, correct?
Yes, sir.
And as far as at the time you were living there, I'm sorry, currently today where you're living, you don't reside at the Kiowa address, correct?
Not as of now.
Okay. So why did you think you had permission to go to the house?
I didn't think I had permission. I just knew that there was not going to be anyone there to care for my grandfather at the time for the new nurse. If we even knew she was going to show up, she said she was going to be late. The other nurse had already taken off. My father wasn't there.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, defense.
Just quickly, Fabian, if the judge sent you down for a drug test, would you be clean or dirty today?
I'd be clean.
Of everything?
Everything.
Okay. Nothing further, Judge.
All right, any other witnesses, defense?
No, Judge.
State, any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then the court will hear argument. State?
Your Honor, I think it's very clear that this defendant has no regard for the conditions of his probation, and his bond, for that matter, for being on full house arrest. I think the fact that he says that he is on the first incident in January 27th, that he let his officer know hours before, it's clearly not in line with the violation report, which says that the officer has been unable to make contact with the defendant, including his attorney, and all references on file, even contacted his bail bond company and could not make contact with him when he violated on that day. And then we see on the news that we have in March, he thinks it's okay that he can just go to Wendy's to pick up food, that he basically can do whatever he wants because I guess he doesn't think he's going to be held accountable for it. And so, Your Honor, we're asking that based on the fact that he is on probation and he continues to violate the conditions of his bond and probation, that he be remanded until we're able to resolve it, because clearly putting him on GPS house arrest is not going to keep him where he needs to be.
All right, defense.
Your Honor, with regard to the first motion, my client didn't testify that he had called the officer before he left. He actually said that his phone was destroyed or damaged because of the water leak. He did contact her apparently at some time after that when he was able to finally get to a phone that worked. With regard to the newer violations, Judge, not that it's any defense, but we had actually asked the court several weeks earlier for permission for him to be able to travel both to work and just to no longer have the full house arrest condition. He's currently being prevented from working. Obviously, he has these emergencies occasionally come up with his grandfather. The client has shown up in court voluntarily today, Judge. I mean, you ordered us yesterday to appear in person. He did that. There's no concern that he is doing anything nefarious or anything like that with these violations. It literally looks like he went to his granddad's and then picked up some food. I don't know, people have to eat, and it was 4 something in the afternoon and he stopped and got some food. He was there for a grand total of 3 minutes, apparently. So we would request, Judge, understanding the situation, we request that you do allow him off the full house arrest and not take him into custody today. I know this is a very difficult situation for the court to consider, but again, he has not picked up new offenses or anything like that. And the reasons for his violation were in all 3 instances, sort of emergency situations. You had the time when his pipes burst and he had to go stay somewhere else, and then when his father is having issues. So based upon all of that, Judge, we would request that you not take him into custody today, and also that you relax the full house arrest leg monitor condition for him.
All right. Defense's motion for modification of bond conditions is denied. The court will not remand him without bond. However, the court is going to increase his bond. Any suggestions or requests for the bond increase from the state or the defense?
One moment, Your Honor. We're gonna ask for a $70,000 bond, Your Honor.
Defense?
I'm sorry, Judge, what did Michael say?
The state is requesting a $70,000 bond.
70?
Yes, 70,00.00.
Judge, I would request a nominal, if you are going to do a bond increase, I would request a nominal increase. It's going to be a struggle for him and his family, but they will be able, hopefully, to try to get him out, but not anywhere near that amount. I believe the original bond was 15,000. Does that make sense?
25,000.
25,000. Make it 26. So.
Okay.
He's on a $35,000 bond, correct?
Oh, it's 35,000 because on the violation report, it has it listed as 25,000.
I see him currently on a $35,000 bond as of December 22nd of 2021.
Okay, then $36,000.
All right, the court is going to set your bond at $45,000. If you make this bond, it will be full GPS, full house arrest. The court will ask that the GPS fees be waived.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a setting for a contested motion to revoke? I'm assuming it's going to be contested.
At this point, I believe so. Yes, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if I could have a contested date for this motion to revoke, please. All right, we're going to come back on April 5th at 2 p.m. And that will be the date of your contested hearing.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
All right.
Judge, may I approach George Sharman?
Just give me a moment. All right, Mr. Alberto Acevedo, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Scott McCrum, who do you have?
Quentin Eddington, Judge, family violence. I don't know how to change my mind. I don't know how to change my name on the phone that I'm using though.
Oh, just tap on participants and then it should take you to your name.
Ah,
All right, I'm going to send you to number 8.
thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Bob Behrens, if you can show your face, please. All right, George Sherman, who do you have?
Mr. Lawrence, And
Criminal
it's,
trial division or family violence?
it's trial. And
All right.
I'm in the 379th right now. We're supposed to be doing a plea here in just a minute. I'm just down the hall. I tried to reach you, but you're on Zoom.
Yes.
We need to get the blood diskettes discovered. That's all I have.
All right, I'll send you to number 10. Matt Stohansky, who do you have?
Ralph Patagoni.
Criminal trial division or family violence?
CTD.
All right, I'm going to send you to number 5.
Thank you, ma'am.
Kyle Simpson, who do you have?
Victoria Hernandez, it's family violence.
All right, I'm going to send you to number 11.
Judge, I think she's in the courtroom.
All right, have you conferred with the state?
I have not.
Okay, I'm going to send you to number 11.
Thanks.
Bob Behrens?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, who do you have?
I think I have Gilbert or Gabriel Paredes. I can't remember the first name, but it's Paredes.
Okay. All righty. I don't believe you're driving because I don't see any hands on the wheel. Are you driving?
I am driving, Judge. My other hand's on the wheel. This one.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't do Zoom and driving. So
I'm just pulling into the parking garage, Judge. I have an in-person in the 379th, and I have a case in the 144th, and a case in your court, and a case in County Court 1. So I'll be up there in a moment.
okay. Martin Guerra?
Your Honor, I'd conferred with both Michelle and the CLO, Ms. Solomon. We actually have some agreement to alter and amend. I didn't know how you want to do this. If it's something that we need.
Are they requesting for your client to plead truth?
No, Your Honor, it was just a compliance.
All right, let me pull up his compliance. Just give me one moment. Let me find this. All right, to the probation officer.
Yes, Judge.
All right, can you send me that compliance issue, please? I'll give you my
I'll send it
email.
to you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Sydney Reed.
Yes, Judge, I'm here.
Yes, what is happening with your case?
Yes, Judge, we filed a motion to modify bond conditions and the state is opposed. So when I spoke with Michelle, she wanted to just make our arguments and let the court decide how the court wants to proceed.
Okay, I'm going to take that up in just one moment. Let me take care of this case and then I'll do Featherston and then I'll take your matter up.
No problem. Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome.
I just sent it, Judge.
All right, thank you. Let me see if it's coming in. Thank you. All right, let me see if it's come in. Yes. All right, so here's the issue. Your client continues to use marijuana. So, Mr. Guitron, can you unmute for me, please?
And Your Honor, there were a couple of things that just aren't mentioned in the supplemental report that I did want to draw to the court's attention.
Okay, yes.
Okay, so first off, my client denies marijuana use. And in February 9th of 2022, he started on his own at the same location where he'd get the drug patch. He'd pay $50 for the patch, but he would pay an additional $10 so he can get a drug test on his own. And it is referenced in the supplemental report on February 9th, 2022, that he did have a negative drug test. But every time since then he goes to get the patch, he also asks for a drug test. I've asked the CLO to see if those results are available. His most recent test was on March 7th, and she was trying to get those as soon as possible. But those have been coming up negative. His probation officer has never told him anything. There's been any issue with his drug testing. Also, with respect to the allegations that he was tampering with the drug patch, he did tell his probation officer that he works at Luby's in the kitchen. It's hot, it's steamy. And that what has happened is that by the end of the 2-week period, the adhesive around the patch will start to become loose. But again, that wasn't something that he was intentionally doing or trying to tamper with. It's just the fact that he's perspiring, sweating a lot because of his job. I'd also add that he just applied for a job at the city of San Antonio. And as part of that, he had to submit a drug test that was done yesterday. Mm-hmm. And if the court so orders, he can do an additional drug test today. But I don't expect there to be any issues with his UAs.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. So probation, we're going to do a drug test today, Mr. Guitron. You need to do that drug test today by 1:30 p.m. And then thereafter, it will be random drug tests.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything else, Mr. Guerrero?
No, Your Honor. That was it.
All right, so probation, I'm going to send Mr. Guitron to breakout room number 2. And Mr. Guerrero, I'll send you to breakout room number 2, and then you all can be excused from there. And who are the parties on Nathaniel Tristan?
Judge, that would be myself and Robert Featherston.
Who was the prosecutor you were working with on that case?
Mr. Villarreal, Judge.
Just give me one moment.
Okay.
I'm requesting that he come out of the breakout room. And Sydney Reed, who are you dealing with on your case?
I was conferring with Michelle.
Okay. Just as soon as she comes out of the breakout room, we'll take that matter up.
Okay.
Michael Villarreal, you are in high demand today.
I wish I wasn't, but sorry, Judge, you're stuck with me.
All right. So on Tristan, that's set for jury trial. The defense has filed a motion for continuance. Do you have any objection to their motion for continuance?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is set for jury trial on March 21st. All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 8838, State of Texas versus Nathaniel Tristan. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michael Villarreal for the state.
For the defense?
Robert Featherston and Adam Pulse, Your Honor.
All right, and are you Nathaniel Tristan?
I am, Judge.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
And from the state, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
And
no, Your Honor.
Any objection, Mr. Tristan?
My apologies. No, Your Honor.
All right, the court is in receipt of a motion for continuance from the defense. State, have you had a chance to review the defense's motion for continuance?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, defense, it's your motion.
Your Honor, if it please the court, currently co-counsel, Mr. Pulse, is scheduled to go to a week-long class over in Huntsville, Texas, for trial preparation. And he was nominated by
Judge Gary Steele,
Judge Steele out of Comal to attend this course. And this has been scheduled. He does have a vacation letter in for that. Additionally, Judge, I'm also scheduled on the 21st for a continuous sexual assault trial in Comal on that particular date. I can't represent to the court whether it's going to go or not. I just don't know at this time, but I am on the docket to do that. Additionally, Your Honor, we just found out this morning that our expert, Dr. John Fabian, is not going to be available the week of that trial date. And we respectfully request that the court to consider that also in deciding on a continuance. And additionally, Judge, I know that the state is objecting to the continuance, but I'm not quite sure why they're objecting to the continuance, whether it's unavailability of a witness and whether that witness is a material witness or not. We'd certainly like to get a proffer from the state as to the materiality of this witness that is going to be unavailable. Thank
All right.
you.
And your witness, Fabian, is that someone for guilt innocence, or is that someone for potential punishment?
Judge, we'd like him in at guilt innocence. There certainly will be a hearing about whether he'll be allowed to testify guilt innocence. And secondarily, he would be testifying at punishment if it comes to that.
All right, state.
And so, Judge, this is the first time I'm hearing about the experts. So I'll kind of address them in order in the motion and then as presented by Mr. Featherston. As far as Mr. Pault is concerned, I understand that we all have competing interests while growing and expanding our knowledge base. But as a basis for a motion for continuance, I don't see that it is relevant in the sense that it does not infringe upon the defendant's Sixth Amendment right to be represented by counsel. Counsel just has to make a choice of whether he's going to be present for the trial at which he was paid to try, or if he's going to elect to go to a conference. As far as Mr. Featherston's case is concerned, they're both set on the same day. And so it will look like, I guess, whoever gets selected first will be most likely the case to go to trial that day. As far as the expert is concerned, that was not contained in the motion for continuance. So I'm guessing he wants this to be an oral amendment to his motion. And so we'll just leave that to the court's discretion. The concern that we have, Your Honor, is that as we offered to the court last time when this case was set, we have a witness who is the defendant, who is the victim's sister.
It is, apparently.
Just 1 second. Excuse me. Anyone who's not a part of this hearing, you need to make sure you're on mute.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Who is a witness to this case. Her statement is contained in discovery. And so Mr. Featherston and Mr. Pault have her statement is a written statement about what her potential testimony may or may not be. So as far as a proffer is concerned to defense, they have that information and have had that information. We have a witness who's a defense sister who is in a Coast Guard who gets regularly deployed. And so when we spoke to her last time, she is available for this trial date, but is expecting to be deployed and will be back sometime in July. If the court were to allow us to continue the case until July, when we have this witness available again, that would be fine. But the concern is that we have a witness who the state intends to call who has unavailable issues that are outside her control. She can't go AWOL from the Coast Guard without picking up a new criminal offense, but Mr. Pault can go AWOL from his conference without picking up a new criminal offense. So that's the state's position on the case, and we're asking that we proceed to trial on the 21st.
All right, the motion as presented is denied. Defense, if you want to file a motion and add your expert witness and your expert witness's availability dates, then the court will consider that. But the motion as presented to the court, the written motion, is denied.
Judge, at this time, will the court allow me to respond to the state's position, considering that it was my motion?
Yes.
Your Honor, if it please the court, I'm sure the court is aware that I was a naval officer for 20 years and am retired Navy. During the course of my career, it was the Navy's policy that if a court of record requested a witness to be available, that the Navy would provide that witness irrespective of orders to deploy. They would put an administrative hold on that person. There's been no testimony here that this witness has been subpoenaed by the state. There is no testimony here that the witness's testimony is material. There's been no proffer to the state by the state of this defendant's statement for the court to review for purposes of materiality. I would submit to the court that we have reviewed it, that the witness's statement is full of hearsay. It's duplicative of what the police officers have observed at the scene, and that indeed she is not a material witness, and if anything, ancillary, and testimony may not even be allowed upon proper hearing. But it's our position that the state has not proved up any materiality with respect to this witness, and has not showed the court any due diligence with respect to obtaining this witness for any particular trial date. And those are my arguments, Your Honor, and we ask that you reconsider your finding.
All right. The court's denial of the motion is based upon what is written in the motion. If defense counsel would like to file another motion with regards to your expert being unavailable, the court will, of course, consider that. But the motion as presented to the court is denied.
Thank you, Your Honor, and we would like now to proceed with pretrial motions.
All right, just give me a moment. How many pretrial motions do you have, Mr. Featherston?
Your Honor, if it pleases the court, Mr. Paltz will handle this portion of the hearing.
Okay. How many pretrial motions do you have, Mr. Paltz?
Judge, that were not agreed upon. 1, 2. I believe 5, Judge. 5 that were not agreed upon. And some of those not agreed upon, Judge, their motion in limines with multiple subsections, and Mr. Villarreal and myself have conferred already. And some of the motion, or some portions of the motion, we've agreed upon.
Okay. All right. On your motions, the court will hear those at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
And Mr. Featherston, if you want to file that other motion by then, I think the state will be ready to proceed. You're on mute.
Judge, you want us to file that electronically or just a hand file?
You can file it electronically, but just make sure that the state receives a copy of it.
Will do, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And everyone, just give me a moment. All right. Let's see who we have here. And Michael Villarreal, if you need to go back to the breakout room, I promise I will not hit the button for you to come back until you're finished.
I think that she's coming back out.
I came back, Judge. I'm back now.
Okay, are you all finished conferring?
Well, Judge, he gave me some new discovery. So this was a discovery compliance, and he gave me some new discovery, I believe, on the 1st of March. I've been I did not realize it got uploaded. I'm trying to look and see what it is. I was going to ask the court if we can come back tomorrow, and hopefully the system will let us get into it. While I was in there, I think he also was having some trouble with his discovery. So,
all right, Ms. Ferguson, can we recall Mr. Burke for tomorrow for discovery? All right, we'll come back on March 10th, and Ms. Whitland, we will see you then.
That's perfect. Thank you, Judge. I'll see you in the morning.
All right, thank you, Mr. Burke. You are excused as well.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, George Sherman.
Judge, I'm present. My client's present. I conferred. We've agreed to an order I'm going to present to you this afternoon for discovery of the blood discs. I'm in the 379th, and I need to go do a plea.
All right, Ms. Ferguson on Mr. Lawrence. Can I have a 30-day reset, please? All right, we're going to come back on April 12th. All right, and I'll notate in the file that that order is going to be sent to the court today, and you and your client are excused.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be by after lunch.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Is he excused too, Mr.
Yes.
Lawrence? Okay.
Scott McCrum.
Yes, Judge. I conferred with Michelle. I'm hoping you'll give us another pretrial setting. I've identified and provided an eyewitness to the state that they did not have before. She would like some time to talk to that eyewitness.
Where's your
talk
client?
to her. I hope he's on. I don't know.
No, he's not on.
He's under Quinn.
I'm here.
All right, you need to make sure you have your appropriate name up, Mr. Eddington. Do you understand?
What? Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. So who did you give this information to, Mr. McCrum?
Michelle Hayden.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Eddington, can you recall this in 3 weeks, please? All right, we'll be back on April 4th.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Have a good one.
All right, thank you, you too. Alberto Acevedo.
Judge, if I can approach on Marla Garrison.
Yes.
I've conferred with the state. We'd like to remain on the trial docket.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a jury trial date in the box for Ms. Garrison, please? And the court is going to call 2020 CR 6716, State of Texas versus Marla Garrison. Can I have defense announced for the record?
Alberto Acevedo for Ms. Garrison.
And are you Ms. Garrison?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
No
Ms.
objections,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Acevedo, any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
Ms. Garrison, any objection?
No, ma'am. No, Your Honor.
Defense, have you received all discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was an offer tendered?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Garrison, are you rejecting that offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, your jury trial date is going to be April 12th at 9 a.m. Your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case after today. You'll need to appear in the 187th District Court at 9 a.m. on April 12th. The court is located at 300 De La Rosa on the 4th floor. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. 9 a.m. at April 12th,
Yes.
187 court.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. If there's nothing else, you are both excused.
Okay, have a
Judge,
wonderful day.
Thank you.
Judge, if you can place me back in one of the breakout rooms so I can speak with Ms. Sparks about my other case.
Okay, let me just remove Garrison. All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 5.
Thank you, Judge.
And let me find you. There you are. Matt Stohansky.
Yes, Your Honor. I apologize. I was just drove in from Wilson County and I'm in the courthouse right now. On Mr. Pettigone. His health has continued to decline and he wants to plead. They made an offer.
All right, if you'll get the paperwork, we will take care of that.
Well, yes, ma'am. Like I said, I have to go and see Judge Skinner live right now. Could we come back this afternoon and do it, or?
Yes, we can come back this afternoon. Norma, Mr. Perdigone will be back this afternoon at 2 p.m.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Matt, real quick, Judge, this is Ryan. Matt, can you just make sure you get us his email address?
He's on Zoom right now, or is he in the courtroom or in a breakout?
He's actually on Zoom in the main room. I'm going to send him to breakout room number 1.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Perdigone, if you could go to number 1 so that we can get your email address.
And I'll go as well.
All right, thank you. All right, and is there a prosecutor available to take up, I believe it's Michelle Hayden on Sidney Reed for Mark Pena?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm available. Oh, Sydney, can you chat me your email address? I was going to send an exhibit.
Sure. Okay, while they're doing that, Bob Behrens, who do you have?
Couldn't get it unmuted. I have Gilbert Paredes. I had texted him only this morning, though. I texted him the Zoom information and I hadn't
All
heard
right,
back
is
from
it
him.
criminal trial division or family violence?
I believe it's family violence.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 6. Monica Guerrero.
Good morning, Your Honor. I was trying to go into the breakout room where Ernest Acevedo is with Marcus Sanders. I have a mutual client with them, so I also have cases. They're not set today, but I wanted to confer as well, if I can.
I do not see either of them in a breakout room.
Well, then,
Well,
I guess
just one second. Marcus, if you could go to number 8, please. And Monica Guerrero, I will send you to 8.
Thank you.
Judge.
Judge, I'm sorry to interrupt. They're in breakout room 4, Ernest
No,
Acevedo.
I've just requested for Ernest to go to number 8. So he is meeting them in 8, and then everyone can go where they need to go. All right. Cal Simpson.
Yes, Judge. I need to get my client into a breakout room. She's in the courtroom. So I'm not sure how that works.
Sure. Courtroom, if you could go to breakout room number 1 with Miss Hernandez for Cal Simpson, please.
Yes, Judge.
And I will send you to number 1.
Okay. And Judge, can we also get paperwork? I think we have an agreement.
All right. If you let Miss Ferguson know what the agreement is, we'll take care of that.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, and Michelle, have you been able to send the paperwork over on Pena? All right, Guillermo Lara, who do you have?
Christopher Diaz, Your Honor.
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
Family violence, Judge.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 9.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, are we ready to proceed on Mr. Pena?
I'm ready, Judge. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court is calling CM 091935, State of Texas versus Mark Pena. We have parties announced for the record for the state.
Michelle Hayden for the state.
For the defense.
Sydney Reed for the defense.
Are you Mr. Pena?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Judge.
Mr. Pena, any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the defense has filed a motion to modify bond restrictions. They're asking that the defendant be allowed to work. State, have you had a chance to review defense's motion?
I have, Your Honor.
Are you ready to proceed?
I am.
All right, defense, it's your motion. You may begin.
Yes, Judge. We are currently, Mr. Pena is on full house arrest. He's not able to work. Typically in the past, he's worked at call centers. He is currently looking for a job right now, but it's difficult because he can't leave the house to search for work or go to interviews. We're requesting that the GPS be modified so that he's not on full house arrest, but is allowed to leave. Obviously, with, after he speaks to his pretrial officer about where he's going and what he's doing, so that he can interview for jobs, and when he obtains work, so that he can work. He has bills to pay, like all of us, including his attorney's fees, the GPS fees, and it's just become a real burden not being able to have a job to work and to be able to pay those bills. And so we understand the nature of the offense that he is charged with, but we think that if it's just for work purposes, it should not conflict with any other provisions of his bond. And so we're respectfully asking the court to amend those conditions to allow him to look for work, and once he obtains work, to work. And Your Honor, I would offer State's Exhibit 1 in this case for the specific purposes of this hearing.
Any
Judge,
objections?
I am going to object. It's a police report. It contains a lot of details of the offense. We're not here to put him on trial. Everybody knows what the offense is, and so I think it's inappropriate at this time for the court to see that police report. Nobody's on trial here yet, and I just don't think it's appropriate.
All right, that'll be overruled. State's Exhibit number 1 is presented for purposes of this hearing.
Judge, our concern in this case is this defendant repeatedly had sex with a 13-year-old child. There were pictures of his penis on her cell phone. It's one thing, I don't have a problem with the defendant searching for jobs. I understand his need to work. I know with some call centers, you can actually work from home. And if there's a specific job that he wants to look for or go work at where we can guarantee he won't pose a danger to other children or the community, then I told defense that's something I could reconsider, but I'm not willing to just amend the conditions right now as is. Most jobs you can apply for online, you can seek out. If an opportunity does come up, then that's something we can revisit. But I think given the nature of the offense, what he's been charged with, the allegations, I'm not comfortable agreeing to amend his conditions right now.
All right, so Ms. Reed, then the issue becomes, does Mr. Pena actually have a job interview schedule?
At this point, I don't believe he does. He's looking for any job that he can find right now, even up to and including just working at a fast food place. But it's difficult because a lot of those types of jobs require an in-person interview or application process. And so that's where it's a catch-22. He can't leave the house to look for work, and so he can't get work.
And Judge, a fast food place is someplace that I don't think I'd be comfortable agreeing to him to work, because then there's a good chance that he could be around minor children.
All right, court is going to deny the motion defense. This is what I will need. If your client has a job interview, let the court know, present it, because I'm sure job interviews, when they're given, it's not as if he applies on a Monday and they want a job interview on the Monday. The court is always open to hear motions. So if he has a job interview scheduled, and if we know what the job is, then you can bring it to the court and the court will hear it and make a decision. But for now, the motion is denied.
Yes, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, I just wanted to thank you for letting me into that breakout room. I believe it's going to be settled today.
All right, thank you, Ms. Guerrero.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, anyone else ready? Who's in the
Morning,
courtroom? Carl Alexander?
Hi, Judge. I was here in person for the 379, so I just came over here rather than trying to Zoom on my phone.
Oh, awesome. Who do you have?
Mr. Rodriguez. It was the one that you guys, the court reappointed me on. Well, not reappointed me, substituted me on.
Yes. What is the first name?
Martin. It's a CTD case.
Okay. Have you had a chance to confer with Criminal Trial Division yet today?
No, ma'am.
All right. So let me see who's available. Could someone from Criminal Trial Division go to breakout room number 1 to confer with Mr. Alexander on Martin Rodriguez, please?
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Shepherd? You're not allowed to be in a bed.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll go to my kitchen. I'm so sorry.
All right, Mr. Adams?
Can I be put back into the breakout room with the prosecutor I was talking to of family violence?
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 8. And if someone from family violence could go to number 8, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Kyle Simpson?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, where are we on your matter?
I'm just waiting on paperwork.
Okay, all right. If anyone else is ready, just let me know.
Your Honor, if it pleases the court, we're ready on Marvin Lee, MTR.
All right, just give me one moment. Okay, what is happening with Mr. Lee?
Your Honor, if it pleases the court, we've been here on 2 previous occasions on his MTR, and the court requested that some mental health examinations be done. The Takumi was the last one completed. It's recommending dual track DDRF, and we're in support of that. with the court. And Mr. Lee will plead true to one number 2.
Okay, if you can, Ms. Ferguson, we need paperwork on Mr. Lee. And we just need a consent to appear by video, and we'll take care of that, Mr. Featherston.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So I'll send you to breakout room number 2. And Mr. Lee, if you can go to breakout room number 2 for me, please. I'm trying to find you on my Zoom.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Lee, if you go to 2, if you'll see at the bottom of your screen where it says breakout rooms, there are 4 little block boxes. If you'll click on that to join room. Guillermo Lara.
Yes, Your Honor.
Christopher Diaz.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, what is happening, Mr. Lara?
Judge, I conferred with the prosecution on the case, and we've tentative date would be April the 12th for a trial. Mr. Diaz would like to move forward with the trial, Judge, so we would like the earliest date. I believe I'm set in your court on the 5th, so we'd ask for the 12th, April 12th.
Ms. Ferguson, can I have a jury trial date in the chat box for Christopher Diaz? The court is going to call 2021 CR 6394, State of Texas versus Christopher Diaz. Can I have the defense announced for the record, please?
Guillermo Lara for Mr. Diaz, Judge.
And are you Mr. Diaz?
Yes, Judge.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Diaz, do you have any objections to us proceeding by video?
I do not, Your Honor.
Mr. Lara, has all discovery been received?
Yes, Judge.
Has an offer been tendered?
It has.
Mr. Diaz, are you rejecting that offer?
I am.
All right, your jury trial date will be April 12th. Your plea deadline date has expired. You'll need to appear in the 187 District Court, which is located at 300 De La Rosa on April 12th at 9 a.m. Do you understand?
I do.
All right, when is your court date?
April 12th,
What time?
9 a.m.,
Which court?
187.
All right, we will see you then. You and your client are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your
Honor.
All right, Carl Alexander.
Hi, Judge. I got an offer from Ms. Sparks. Today was my first day meeting my client. I'm about halfway through the discovery. So I've conveyed the offer, but I can't really give you an answer where we're moving at this point because I'm still finishing getting up to speed.
Oh, no, the court understands. Is your client in a breakout room?
He's actually, oh, well, okay. If I move, he's behind my right arm there.
Haha.
There he goes, wave, there he goes.
All right, that doesn't help me when you say if you move. All right. Where is Martin Rodriguez?
Stand up, Martin. There he is.
Ah, he's in the courtroom.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Martin Rodriguez, please?
Do you need me to physically go get one and have them sign it, Judge, or just?
Oh, they're going to give you one, but I need to have it in the chat box so I'll know what date it is.
Okay.
Judge, it's in the chat box, Judge.
No, it's not. I don't have it in the chat box.
Looking for a trial date, correct?
No, just a 30-day reset. All right, is it going to be April 12th?
Okay, Judge.
Waiting. We'll see. Just give us a second. All right, we're going to come back on April 4th.
April 4th, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Do you have all the discovery in this case?
As far as I know, like my review of what I have is not complete yet.
All right, so April 4th is going to be your next date. At the next setting, I'm going to give you a plea deadline date.
Okay, Judge, thank you.
All right, and they'll get you a reset form for your client.
Okay, Judge, and after he signed it, may we be excused?
Yes.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
Next thing is.
All right, and Mr. Featherson, have you signed all your paperwork on Lee?
Judge, I'm sending that over to him in just a few minutes.
Judge, this is Kyle
Anyone
Simpson.
else? Who?
Kyle Simpson. We
Yes.
signed the consent to proceed with Zoom, but we're still waiting on the appellate waiver.
All right, the appellate waiver would have been included in that. So it would have been part 2.
Well, then I guess we're ready. I didn't see that, but
All right, has your client signed it?
no, she's in the courtroom. So I'm going to need to get back with her somehow.
All right, if you'll go back to breakout room number 1, the courtroom will meet you there.
Thank you.
Sure. Alberto Acevedo and Montes.
Your Honor, I've conferred with the state. We have an agreement. I just need to consent to plea via video conference, and then I can get that signed by my client.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Douglas Kapmeyer.
Hi, Judge. Sorry, I had 4 of the courts looking for me, and I think we just had a simple issue here.
You had 4 of the courts looking for you, and the 187 was just last on your list.
Well, I had to bounce around a bunch this morning, Judge.
All right, who do you have?
I think we had an issue with Shirley Martinez that she was just interviewed 2 days ago, and I thought the court might check to see if they have the PSI or something, and I didn't get it yet. But it seems to me that it probably hasn't been prepared yet. if she was interviewed a couple days ago.
All right, probation. Can you tell me what the status is on Shirley Martinez for the MIC-MILF evaluation?
Yes, Judge. Let me get it real quick.
Thank you.
Judge, I have the PSI and mental health evaluation. I will send it to you right now.
Thank you. And Mr. Kapmeyer, if you'll put your email in the chat box to the CLO, please. And she's listed as CLO Solomon.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And I'll send you to a breakout room with your client so you can discuss that. So Ms. Martinez, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
Judge, may I approach? This is Kyle Simpson again.
Just one moment. And Mr. Kapmeyer, don't go to 3 until you send that in the chat box. Otherwise, they won't see it.
Trying to, Judge. It took me away from my screen.
Yes, Kyle Simpson.
Judge, there was only one document in the consent to proceed by video conference. We still need the waiver of appeal.
Well, is your client being revoked?
No.
Is that the agreement? Then you don't need you don't need the trial court certification.
Okay. Well, then we're ready.
All right. As soon as has your client signed that document?
She did.
Okay. As soon as the court has it, we'll proceed because it hasn't come to me yet.
Okay.
And is your client in a breakout room?
She's in the courtroom. So let me
All
go
right.
back to the.
No, as soon as that's signed, the courtroom will push it through to me.
All right. Well, it should be.
Who's the prosecutor on Hernandez?
It's Michelle Hayden.
Middle arrow, please.
All right, just give me a moment. All right. Court is going to call 2020 CR 8599, State of Texas versus Victoria Hernandez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michelle Hayden for the state.
For the defense?
Kyle Simpson for Ms. Hernandez.
All right, and are you Ms. Hernandez?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Hernandez, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. The court will note for the record that the defendant is in the courtroom. I'm going to show you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, and state's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Victoria Irene Hernandez who was placed on deferred adjudication for the offense of abandonment or endangerment of a child with intent to return on January 4th, 2021 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 2, on or about the 26th day of August 2021 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant Victoria Irene Hernandez did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court supervision officer in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. Violated condition number 2, on or about the first day of September 2021 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Victoria Irene Hernandez, did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court supervision officer in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. Violated condition number 20, in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Victoria Irene Hernandez, did then and there fail to call into the IVR drug test line on September 1st, 2021, September 16th, 2021, September 30th, 2021, October 8th, 2021, October 15th, 2021, November 8th, 2021, December 6th, 2021, December 8th, 2021, December 10th, 2021, December 13th, 2021, December 14th, 2021, December 15th, 2021, in violation of condition number 20.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. And we'll rate the remaining allegations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Hernandez, did you understand by pleading true to violation of conditions 2 and 20, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility, and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations 2, and 20?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violations of 2, and 20 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is to the agreement?
We ask that you find the violations true, that you continue, that you deny the state's motion, you continue the defendant on community supervision, that you amend the terms to include a referral to felony drug court, dual diagnosis outpatient treatment with BCCSCD, TAP outpatient treatment programs, weekly reporting, the drug patch, sober support meetings, and zero tolerance.
Is that the agreement, defense?
That is, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Hernandez,
Yes, Your Honor.
can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. Ms. Hernandez, the court is going to follow the agreement somewhat, but I need to know what your issues are so we can make sure that you're given everything you need to be successful on this deferred adjudication. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
It would be positive.
All right, and what are you going to be positive for?
Marijuana.
All right, is there a reason you won't stop using marijuana?
I think I've been having, like, I do smoke a lot, like when I get like stressed out and stuff, and realize that I should probably look into like seeing a psychiatrist to help me find better coping mechanisms to handle like my stress and anxiety with the work.
Have you started on your parenting classes?
Yes, ma'am, and I completed them.
Is Child Protective Services involved?
They closed the case.
Do they know about your continued drug use?
Yes, ma'am. She did at the time when I believe the case was closed in December.
So Child Protective Services is allowing people to keep their children and close cases even though they know that the parents are using. Is that what you're telling me?
I don't believe so. I know I recall her saying something about just following the terms of like my probation. So I wasn't sure if like she closed the case knowing I was doing things with probation. I don't know like what her mindset was. We didn't really talk that much. She visited us like twice.
All right, who is helping you supervise your children? Or is it just you?
It's so Osiris, he lives with his father, and then I'll watch Osiris in the mornings while the dad is at work. But for the majority of the time, he's with the dad.
Okay. Well, here's the issue. Felony drug court is filled to capacity. Somebody needs to write their congressman, because I think it's a good program, and tell them they need more funding so they can have more probation officers, more treatment available. So they are filled to capacity right now. So this is what the court will do. I'm going to have to alter to amend your conditions. To include no unsupervised contact with minors. So you can have contact with your child, but it just can't be unsupervised. I will consider changing that once she provides me with a negative UA, Mr. Simpson, then the court will consider changing that.
Okay.
I'll do the referral to felony drug court. They're going to put you on their waiting list. We're going to do sober meetings. I'm going to do intensive outpatient treatment with probation. If for some reason, Mr. Simpson, if you want to call over to felony drug court, see if there's any way possible they could perhaps find a position for her or a space for her, then she will be in felony drug court and they will set her conditions. But we're going to do sober meetings, intensive outpatient treatment with probation, and we'll do 90 meetings in 90 days. So that's 90 meetings in 90 days, either AA or NA meetings. And has there been an issue with you reporting to probation?
No.
So you've always reported?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so make sure you continue doing that. I don't want to put too much on you, but that's what you're going to need to do. And if are there any mental health issues, Ms. Hernandez, have you ever been diagnosed with anything?
I've been diagnosed with depression. I have a PTSD and OCD.
All right. So what we'll do, we'll see if we can help with that. We'll do a MIC evaluation, and it's just to see maybe if you need to be on the mental health caseload. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then. Yes. Okay, then. I'm going to send you back to breakout room number 1. Someone from probation will go over conditions with you. Mr. Simpson, you can go to number 1, or either you can be excused.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Robert Featherston, are you ready on Mr. Lee?
Yes, Your Honor, we're ready on Mr. Lee.
All right. And who are the parties on Mr. Lee?
Judge Marcus.
Okay. All right, the court is going to call 2020 CR 2268, State of Texas versus Marvin Lee. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Robert Featherston, Your Honor.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state or the defense?
No objection from the state.
No objection from the defense, Your Honor.
Mr. Lee, could you unmute for me, please? Are you Marvin Lee?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review a document with your attorney and sign it? The document is entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference.
Yes, Your
Did you
Honor.
review that? Did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
The court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same Marvin Lee who was placed on deferred adjudication in cause number 2020 CR 2268 for the offense of theft of property, $2,500 but less than $30,000 on July 8th, 2020 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
You're muted.
Thank you. Condition number 1, on or about the 10th day of September 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Marvin Lee committed the offense of assault in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
We'll waive the others.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Lee, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Judge, and it's in line with probation's recommendation. Just to give you a heads up, it's a lot, so I'll go slow. So they're recommending, we're asking you to deny the motion. Probation is recommending DDRF, MIC and Genesis placement, bi-weekly UAs.
Just 1 second. I'm not Rebecca. All right, bi-weekly UAs.
Curfew from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. for 90 days. Travel restrictions for 90 days. BIP registration within 15 days. Employment verification within 30 days. Parenting classes within 30 days. And GED registration within 45 days.
Defense, is that the agreement?
Judge, that is the agreement.
All right, Mr. Lee, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. So obviously they're asking for parenting classes. I had previously ordered parenting classes. Why have you not started your parenting classes?
I just didn't start it. I did some online, like I did an anger management class and I think a drug class online. I didn't finish the parenting class.
These basically are all the same thing.
All right. Has he already been interviewed for DDRF?
Your Honor, if it pleases the court, he has. The Takumi evaluation is back. I respectfully request that the court take a quick look at that. Judge, he needs a lot of help. The DDRF, a dual diagnosis track, will provide that to him. I think it'll put him in a better position to be able to successfully complete parenting classes and any other program that the court orders. But we need to get him in there and get him treated so that he can become a productive member of society.
All right, and what is this travel restrictions concerning? Why is that being asked for? And where is he not allowed to travel?
Your Honor, if it pleases the court, the state was requesting that restriction. And quite frankly, I support it at this time, at least for the first 90 days after DDRF, so that he can be appropriately monitored and see that he's integrated back into society.
But I mean, what travel restrictions are we speaking of? He has a curfew, so where are we saying that he cannot go?
Judge, we'd like him to stay within Bexar County.
Yes, Judge, the officer didn't go into detail why they're asking for that, other than that he hasn't been cooperative with probation. And so I guess they want to keep tabs on him.
So how are they going to do that? Is that going to be through GPS? How is any of this going to be accomplished?
Your Honor, if it please the court, if the court would like GPS, we quite frankly have no objection to that. If the court is looking at that for the first 90 days, the hurdle there is a cost. Mr. Lee is indigent. I'm court appointed to him. If he's saddled with a monthly cost for GPS, I'm not so sure that he can make that, especially after being in DDRF and then coming out of that. I just don't know that he's going to have the financial resources in order to be able to accomplish that.
Okay, so the court, I just don't understand how is the travel restrictions are going to be complied with without a GPS. And just so everyone knows, probation has sent me the evaluation on Mr. Lee. I'm just trying to figure out how do we monitor him not leaving the county and monitor him with his curfew.
Judge, when he comes back out of DDRF, I think that there was a recommendation for Genesis. And if we could put him on weekly reporting, perhaps that would satisfy the court.
All right, I tell you what, let's do this. I'm going to do GPS, Mr. Featherston, but if there's an issue with that, if you just come back to the court and let me know, and we'll do something else. But since we're joining the DDRF, we'll do this in stages, Mr. Lee, to see how you're doing, okay? All right, so this is what the court will do. Deny the motion, parenting classes, and you to register for that within 30 days of release. DDRF, MIC Genesis placement. BIPP, you to register for that. And I'm going to do register for that within 30 days, so there'll be no confusion. There's to be a curfew from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. GED registration within 30 days. There's to be travel restrictions. You're not allowed to leave Bexar County. And we'll do GPS and waive the fees. Is there anything else that you all requested?
No, Your Honor. With the fees waived, I think GPS is very appropriate.
All right. And then we'll continue with, as far as reporting goes, we will do regular reporting by Zoom. And when or in person. So if you can't do it by Zoom, you have to do it in person. And I'm going to want field visits when he's released. And we'll do field visits 3 times per month, random. And of course, that will be reduced once you've made progress, Mr. Lee. If there's nothing else, we'll close the record. And Mr. Lee, I'm going to send you to a breakout room. And Mr. Featherston, you can go to that breakout room with Mr. Lee. I'm going to send you both to number 1, and probation will go over conditions.
Yes, Sean.
Thank you, Your Honor. And if it please the court, I have one more case on your docket. It's
Yes.
Roy Bedalis. The court has asked him to come to court, and I don't think he's here yet. Are we going to be doing this on the 2 p.m. docket, Judge? On Mr.
Yes,
Bedalis?
we can place it at 2 p.m. I'll give him till 2 p.m. to appear.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And Mr. Lee, if you look at your breakout rooms, the 4 little boxes at the bottom, you can click on that and you can go to the breakout room.
Breakout room 1, right?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Can you move me to room 1 with Mr. Lee?
I'm sorry, which CLO is this?
B. Gonzalez.
All right, I'm making you a co-host.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge, can I let Norma know we're doing a plea on Coleman?
All right, if you'll put that in the chat box, we'll take care of it. Bobby Gebbia, I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Alberto Acevedo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
We're ready on Montez, Your Honor.
Who's the prosecutor on Montez?
So 1 year, 11 months. It's Marcus Sanders, Your Honor.
I couldn't hear you. You muted yourself.
All right, the court is going to call 2020 CR 5435, State of Texas versus Edwin Rosario Montez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
Cortez for the third.
All right, and are you Mr. Montez?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No objection.
Any objection from the defense?
None, Your Honor.
Mr. Montez, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same Edwin Yandel Rosario Montez placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 5435 for the offense of aggravated robbery on January 21st, 2021 for a period of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Condition number 5. In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Edwin Yandel Rosario Montez did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of May, June, and July 2021, violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
Right.
It's just that
State?
We'll waive the others, Judge.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Montez, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to life in prison and up to $2,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Judge, we're asking that you deny the motion, that you alter and amend to order intensive outpatient, weekly UAs, weekly reporting, and that he provide proof of residence and update to probation today.
All right, defense, is that the agreement?
Yes, that's our understanding of the agreement. I don't know if he said the how many days. I think it was 60, Your Honor.
60 days, Judge, yes.
60 days for what?
Sorry, for the UAs and for the weekly reporting.
All right. Mr. Montez, where are you going to be living?
I'm going to be living with a family friend, Caitlin Shepard. Judge, I can provide you with that address.
You're going to provide that address to probation today. If you do not provide that address to probation today, a motion to revoke will be filed. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why haven't you been reporting?
I moved out of state because I was homeless and I was having problems with my family.
Did you have permission to move out of state?
No, ma'am. I should have communicated before I did.
All right. Do you want to go to prison for life?
No, ma'am. I do not.
Yeah, because I made sure to hold on.
Problems were you having with your family?
Me and my mom were having problems with my father. That's why
What does that mean?
I was just, me and my father we're just not getting along, having a lot of fights and stuff. So that's why I was homeless at the time.
Over what?
Over just, we weren't just seeing eye to eye on things. We wouldn't.
Over what?
Just different things. It wasn't really just one thing.
Like, what is it? Because you're grown. Here's the thing. You're an adult. And if you're an adult and you're living in your parents' house, guess what? Your father and your mom set the rules, period.
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't like their rules, then you need to have a house of your own. And what I'm being told now is you're still not going to have a place of your own. You're going to be living with somebody. So when you live with them, you're going to follow their rules.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It was my fault.
How far did you go in school?
I graduated high school.
What are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
I just I wanna have a family. I wanna just, this was just a mistake, and I just wanna make up for it. Show y'all that I'm not a risk or anything, and
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to include intensive outpatient treatment with probation. You're going to call the UA hotline. GPS, the fees will be waived. Field visits 3 times per month. Your curfew will be 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And you can either report by Zoom, so there'll be regular Zoom reporting, or in person. So if something happens and you can't report by Zoom, you'll need to do it in person. And you're to provide proof of residence today.
yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing from the state.
Your Honor, just to clarify the GPS, how long is that for?
Until I feel as though he has gotten back on track.
Is that, it's a tracking only?
Yes, but he has curfew.
Okay.
Your Honor.
And he'll be working, Your Honor. He has a job lined up, so I'll be sure to make sure that's provided to the probation.
All right, thank you. And be sure to let probation know it's tracking only.
Judge, can you
Yes,
repeat
sir.
his curfew times?
7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And if his employment requires him to work outside those hours, that will be the only exception, and he needs to provide proof of that.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6. Probation will meet you there.
All righty, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Acevedo and Mr. Capmeyer.
Good morning, Judge.
Yes.
Judge, we have a deal on Nicholas Valdez's MTR. And so we'll have a plea on that MTR with a recommendation for SATF. And then I'm also here on Brandon Wright's case, Judge. I've spoken to Michael on that case. There is discovery that is still coming in, Judge, old CPS records. They got some.
Right, and I'm sorry, what's the name of that client?
Brandon Wright.
Who is the prosecutor on Brandon Wright?
Michael.
All right, what is happening with Mr. Wright in the discovery?
Your Honor, so last study I reviewed the case and I realized that we didn't have a copy of the SANE exam as well as the CPS records. The CPS records just came in last week. And so we uploaded the notice of additional discovery, but there's a certain potentially exculpatory evidence in there that needs to be reviewed. I think both by defense and myself, they haven't had an opportunity to review those thoroughly.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Mr. Wright for discovery? All right, we're going to come back on April 6th on Mr. Wright for discovery. And then hopefully that will be enough time for all parties to have the CPS records to review those. All right, Mr. Wright is excused unless you need him for anything else, Mr. Acevedo.
We do not, Judge. We've spoken already.
Okay, all right, so the court is going to take its break now. I have a meeting at noon that is off campus. So we're going to come back at 2 p.m. If everyone has all of their paperwork ready at that time, we'll take those up immediately. And
Okay.
everyone is more than welcome to continue